Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial for makeup for the summer. And I'm going to also, as I'm going along, give you guys tips on how to make your makeup last in this summer heat. I was going to do my full face makeup first and then realized that I wanted to do like cream contour with you guys because it is, you know, summery, so I want to look more tanned and more bronzy, so I kind of stopped myself. So I apologize, but I will tell you what I have put on so far. Sorry, I was really thirsty there. I have some lemon, cucumber, strawberry ice water. I've been trying to drink more water since it's been warmer outside, and I feel like having you know, a water bottle with like stuff in it encourages me to drink more. So you gotta stay hydrated, guys. That's gonna make your skin look healthier. It's better, you know, in the heat you need to be staying hydrated. So moving on. So far, and this is actually going to be my first tip. Where did it go? There it is. This is gonna be my first tip for summer makeup because it is hotter, it is more humid, you might sweat more, you might produce more oil. It's going to be a little bit harder for it to last as long. So my first tip is number one, to wear primer, but number two, to wear a gripping, some sort of gripping primer that helps the, you know, longevity of your foundation and your other makeup. So one that I really like is the Urban Decay All Nighter. I find this really helps grip your makeup and help it, you know, last all day long. So I am wearing that right now. I also popped on some of my Benefit Professional. This is a combo I love, and I've been using a lot lately. This is more for smoothing and making your skin look really, you know, smoothed out, and it helps your face look a little bit more flawless, which I mean, always is the goal, but I feel like in the summer, when I think of makeup in the summer, it's like very natural, flawless, bronze, you know, like glowy. Then I applied the Bite Beauty foundation, which is one that I actually just recently reviewed for you guys. So if you haven't seen that yet, then go ahead and check that out. It is a more medium coverage, and this is where I feel in the summer, I personally like to go a little bit more natural. I've been, you know, really enjoying this one because it is that like natural looking, little bit lighter coverage, and so it just looks a little bit, you know, less makeup-y. So that's the look that I'm going for today. But if you have really oily skin, or if you're prone to having a shine and that's something you really don't like, then obviously a mattifying foundation may be helpful for you. I am going to be doing a video in the next month, hopefully. I've been, you know, trying to really test all of my foundations, and I've gotten a lot of new ones lately to give you a good tops foundation like hit list, you know, of the best mattifying foundation, the best, you know, long wearing. So I'm going to be doing that video soon, hopefully, and stay tuned for that if you need some recommendations. So I'm going to go ahead now and do cream contour. This is a little bit more of an advanced step, but if you have the time to practice and you have the patience to really like blend things out, then I think you will be just all right. So I'm going to be using my Morphe E20. It's like this little dense brush, and I like to do my contour lines. So what I do is mix these two colors. These two. This one's a little too dark for me. If I had self-tanner on, I would probably use that one. And there's different ways to cream contour. Some people do the cream contour before their foundation along with their concealer, and then the foundation, when you apply it, it helps blend that out. I've done that. I don't mind doing that. This is my preferred way, is applying foundation and then you apply this on top and kind of blend it into the foundation. Whatever works for you. If you guys would like a video on cream contour, I definitely can do that. So make sure you comment below if that's something you would be interested in. The reason I enjoy cream contour is I feel like it lasts longer because, you know, cream products that are then set with powder typically last a little bit longer. If you're not comfortable with cream contour, you can skip this step and just do it with a powder. I'm going to set the face. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty. I've been really enjoying this lately. I'm going to use my JH12. First, I'm going to make sure there's no lines. And now I'm going to kind of bake the under eyes. Baking, number one, can help your under eyes look flawless. It's not for everybody. If you have really dry under eyes, or if you have a lot of really bad under eye wrinkles, this isn't going to be for you. But in the summer especially, when you get greasy, especially in like this area, this can help kind of really set that makeup in place. So if you get really oily, a mattifying powder is going to help. You don't have to bake, but if you enjoy it, baking in the areas that might need the extra setting is going to help. If you don't typically set your face, you like to just apply your foundation and run out the door, or like apply your foundation and you have really dry skin, so setting it makes it look dry. If you want the makeup to not get as oily or like move around as much, because in the summer we're sweatier, you might be touching your face more, just even dusting a very light veil of powder, even just in your T-zone or the areas that you find tend to, kind of fade or wear, or, areas that you might find in the summer don't last as long. Even just in those areas, taking your brush with whatever powder that works for you. There's so many options, so it doesn't have to be this one or any ones that I recommend. It can be whatever works for you. Take the very light dusting, and you would have probably, if you probably wouldn't have baked. You don't have to bake if you're not really comfortable with setting your face very much, but just take a very light dusting and kind of just lightly pat. And I'm going to do that for the rest of the face. Just lightly pat. Or like I said, you could have just gone like on your T-zone and left the rest of your face. That will set the makeup so that it's not going to move around as much. That's my personal opinion. I have to set my makeup, or else it would literally be everywhere. But that's just me. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, and then I'm going to come back and we will wipe this away and continue on. So before I go ahead and do my brows, I'm going to just quickly talk about what I like to use when I'm worried about, the long wearing and the longevity of my makeup. And I've said this before, the NYX Eyebrow Gel, I think, has to be the longest wearing, most smudge proof brow product that I've ever used. That being said, I'm a big pomade fan. So this is a very similar texture to a pomade. It's more gel, creamy like. And I like to fill in my brows pretty defined look. If you like a very subtle look, you can still use a pomade and just use a brush to make hair-like strokes. There's a few pomades I really like, but this one, oh my goodness, I've never experienced something like this. It almost even gels your eyebrow hairs. Like, it's that strong. It's going nowhere. It's almost hard to get off at the end of the day. So I'm almost curious to see if this is waterproof. Like, I should wear this one day when I go swimming, and I'll film it for you guys, because oh my goodness. I will squeeze it on the back of my hand because it is in a squeeze tube, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. It's in a squeeze tube. I'll squeeze it on the back of my hand, and then I'll use it, and then I'll go to wipe that off, and I can't get it off. I have to scrub it off. So it is so good. It is if you're looking for a pomade type brow product that's going to literally last through sweat. Don't quote me on this, but I'm going to almost guarantee it would last through swimming. I would wear this to the beach and have no concerns about it lasting. So definitely my number one recommendation for brows for the summer. So I have brows now. I'm going to go ahead with the Fenty. Look at the creases on those eyes, and this is why we do eyeshadow primer. That is going to happen to your eyeshadow if you don't, especially in the summer. Using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter. This one is, I think, maybe the longest wearing eyeshadow primer I have ever used. It holds on to that eyeshadow till you scrub it off. It is not going anywhere, and this would definitely be the one that I choose if I need something to be long wearing. It can be a little sticky, so sometimes when you apply your eyeshadow after, it can kind of stick and it won't blend out as perfectly. And I actually noticed that when you let it dry a little bit, it can kind of avoid that issue. What I would recommend is to let this dry a little bit. A couple minutes should be fine. So the one day I ended up getting distracted after putting this on, trying to find which eyeshadow palette I wanted to play around with, and it had been like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, look, it's working better this time. And so I kind of tried that and waited, you know, the next time, and it worked. So I think that's the key, is to let it fully dry. So it's still really sticky. So like I would say, you know, 2, 3, sometimes even 5 minutes, depending on how much you apply. So, you know, just take your time, and it will end up being the best decision you ever made, because it's going to blend everything out a lot nicer. And I really truly think it's worth, you know, the possibly up to 5 minutes you have to wait, because it's so good. It's really so good. So I would say that's the best eyeshadow primer for long wearing. Okay, so while that's happening, apply some of this body oil. Now I'm wearing white, so this is dangerous. I'm just gonna apply a couple drops on here, my shoulders, and it just kind of bronzes up the skin. If you don't want to do the whole self-tanner thing, which can get messy and can, you know, you can mess it up really easily, then I just recommend using a body oil. You can, it's like a temporary tan. Very temporary, because like if you have a shower, it's obviously going to come off. I'm really enjoying the Becca Ignite Liquefied Light Highlighter. It's actually one of the first body highlighters I've ever tried, but I love it. I use it all the time, especially now that it's like more summer weather. And I just feel like it goes with that like bronze, glowy kind of bronze goddess look. Pretty much dry. Now we are in the clear, and I'm going to go ahead and do an eyeshadow look. I'm going to be using my Naked Reloaded. I'm just going to go with like, you know, these warmer browns and you know, that gold, maybe a little bit of that peach. Just play around with this and create a very summery kind of gold bronze goddess look. So I have completed my summer eyeshadow look. I kind of just went with the brown, golds, kind of bronzy look, as I mentioned before. So the next thing I'm going to do is eyeliner. The one thing that I'm going to recommend for summer is waterproof eyeliner, or something that stays really, really well. I love the Pretty Vulgar, the ink gel eyeliner in Blacklist. It is really long wearing, and it is also just a really nice formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Eyeliner's done. Sorry, my camera turned off, and so I didn't film doing my eyeliner, but no big deal. I'm going to do mascara. One thing I recommend in the summer, if you're going to be swimming, if you sweat a lot, you know, if you have oily eyelids, all of that, I recommend a waterproof mascara. This being said, you're going to want to definitely be making sure you're using some sort of makeup remover. It's going to be harder to remove, so keep that in mind. I like to use makeup wipes. I like the Kirkland ones, but actually in a BoxyCharm box that I recently got, I got the makeup eraser. It's a cloth, and it actually removes makeup really, really well. So not everything, but the majority of it. And yeah, long story short, I recommend a waterproof mascara, and a really good one from the drugstore is the Lash Paradise. This isn't new. A lot of people know about it, but it's so good, and you can get it in waterproof, which is typically my go-to mascara if I'm looking for waterproof, just because I don't have every mascara in waterproof, and I really, really like this mascara. I have oily eyelids. The oil from your eyelids can break down the mascara when it touches and then transfer onto your skin. And then you're gonna have, you know, raccoon eyes or little dots all over your face. So I definitely recommend waterproof mascara if that's an issue. Some people don't like waterproof mascara because it is a lot harder to get off. But if you're using a good makeup remover, it shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, I'm going to then bronze my face, and this is where we're gonna look a little bit more of like a bronze goddess. We have the contour, and now we're going to even darken our face even further. I'm actually gonna use this big angled brush, which I really enjoy to use for bronzer. And I'm using Physicians Formula. This is probably my favorite bronzer in general. Number one, smell is amazing. Number two, it's so creamy, so blendable. Where we contoured, but then blend it further. That's how I at least do it. So we've already kind of contoured. We're reinforcing that contour and then kind of blending it across the forehead to just kind of bring a little bit more color to the face. And then I bronze here. And then I'll bring a little bit into the cheeks to give a little bit more of like a tanned effect. When I go really like bronze like this, I have to bring it all the way down my neck because I'm so pale. So even if I match my foundation, once I start bringing all this bronzer on my face, it's like my neck looks so pale. Keep in mind, if you're gonna throw your hair up, if you've brought your bronzer down your neck, along your décolleté, and you don't have like self-tanner on all over, look at the back of my neck. It looks so pale. So I like to bring it up behind the ear into the back of the neck. It's not like I'm gonna apply bronzer all over my body, but I find that's an area when I pull up my hair, it'll look funny because I'll have bronzer all here and then it'll be all of a sudden pale. So that's a tip that I have if you're using bronzer down the neck to, you know, to look a little bit more tanned, especially in these summer months. Back of the neck, especially if you're gonna pull your hair out. I'm going to go ahead with Peachy Keen from MAC. It's one of my favorite blushes in general. I just love the shade. And it's like that pinky peach, has a little bit of like a sheen to it. So it has a little bit of like a gold, very light shimmer to it. So it's gonna look a little bit more glowy. And I have a really bad habit of applying way too much blush and then just blend it out, especially when you have good quality blushes. That's okay. Like obviously I have too much blush on right now, but I'll just take a touch of my powder and look at how much more blended that looks from this side to this side. so now we're gonna do highlights and lips and then we'll be done. One from the drugstore that I really like is the Master Chrome by Maybelline. And then another one I've been loving lately is the Jaclyn Hill Loose Highlight in Extra. It is intense. I'll use a little bit of both. This is my absolute favorite brush for highlight. It's my new Jaclyn Hill brushes, the JH14. It's so perfect. I'm gonna just dip into my Master Chrome. It just gives you that like beautiful glow. And highlight is really nice because it makes you look, you know, more hydrated and glowy and healthy. So that is the Master Chrome highlight, really pretty. I'm gonna just pop a little bit of this Jaclyn Hill one. Now we're gonna do lips. I'm just actually gonna take a little bit of my bronzer. I forgot to do this with my cream contour, so I'm doing it with this. Just gonna go around the lips a little bit. This kind of helps make them look a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep it simple because at the end of the day, when it, especially in the summer when it's hot, I just want something really lightweight. So I'm actually gonna go in with the MAC Cream Sheen Lipstick in Selena Vibe. Love this. I really like the nude lip in the summer. I mean, I like it all year round, but especially in the summer. And then I'm just gonna pop a little bit of like a lighter shade in the center. It's going to give you a little bit of a like illusion where the center of your lips are bigger. It's going to give you that like poutier look. And then I like to also put my highlight at the top where I did before, but I'll bring it down onto the lip a little bit. And then right here. So see how right here is highlighted? That to me makes it look like my lips are bigger, and it's my favorite thing to do right now. It's like my favorite lip. It's like a nude lip with a touch of a lighter shade in the center and then my highlight on the center as well. So pretty. This is like screams summer to me because it's very tan and bronze, like I'm bronzed up, and more of like a nude neutral shade, kind of subtle, a little bit more simple. I'm gonna set my face, which is I think also really important for the summer because especially if you're oily, you want to set this in place so it's not going to go anywhere. I have two really great setting sprays that I love for when I'm worried about oil, like shine control, when I'm worried about the longevity of my makeup. The all-nighter, really any of the all-nighters are great, but the ultra matte is good for when I'm going to be sweaty or oily. And the Slay All Day is so good for oil as well, so I can't even pick. Let's just go with the Slay All Day because it smells so good. Oh. All right, and you want to let that dry. It will feel wet, but it will dry down, and then that will set your makeup in place, you know, prevent your skin from getting really oily. It's going to also help your makeup not get broken down from oils and sweat and all of that. So that's going to help as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, that you liked the look, and I hope that this can be useful for you in the upcoming months. I hope you guys enjoyed all of my tips and tricks for, you know, keeping your makeup looking flawless throughout these sweaty, humid months. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a wonderful day. Bye.